So thank you, Secretary Mnuchin, for making time. As you know, the job numbers and the retail sales numbers show the economy is rebounding, but there's still a lot of uncertainty with the virus. So are we still in uncharted territory for where the consumer-driven economy is going to be for the rest of the year?
Well, Charles, let me just say, first of all, we couldn't be more pleased with the recent economic data, and that's really showing that the CARES Act is working. Having said that, the president and I won't be done until every single one of those people get back to work that lost their job because of COVID. So the unemployment rate is still too high. I expect as we continue to open the economy, we're going to see a lot of those jobs coming back, and we're going to continue to work with Congress to stimulate that.
So you say continue to work to stimulate the economy, keep the economy reopening. Should businesses worry, though, about another shutdown of the economy if COVID cases and deaths surge in the fall?
Charles, I don't think they should, and let me explain why. And first of all, let me just say I think the president absolutely made the right decision. It was a very difficult decision to shut down the economy, but that saved an enormous number of lives. And the issue at the time was that we had hospitals that were getting overcrowded. We didn't have enough ventilators. It was early on. We didn't have enough drugs that could be used to combat this terrible disease. We're at a different point now. We have an abundance of testing. We have some great viral treatments that are showing great promise. We have an abundance of capacity in hospitals, and we know how to contract trace now. So I think the answer is we'll have a very balanced approach as we go through the rest of the year.
So you don't see another shutdown as a possibility?
I do not.
Wisconsin expects wages and salaries to fall about 10% this year. Won't that have an impact on the economy recovering? We're also seeing evictions surging 40% here in Milwaukee. People are still struggling. Does that suggest to you there's a need for another stimulus check?
Well, there's definitely a need for CARES 4. Whether that includes the stimulus check, the economic impact payments, we're going to look at very carefully. We haven't decided yet. In CARES, we put about $3 trillion that was authorized. We have a little bit more than half of that in the economy. We're working to pump the rest of that in. And the reason why we're waiting a few more weeks is to make sure we clearly see what areas of the economy will continue to need help. So CARES 4 is going to be much more targeted at helping businesses that are going to have longer times in getting people back to work.
Yeah, so why is that only half the money is still in the economy? Where is the other half?
Well, I think we did a great job in an unprecedented situation getting a lot of this money out. So if you just start with the direct payments, we got out over 150 million direct payments in unprecedented periods of time. Last time this took the administration months and months, so I couldn't be more pleased at the people at Treasury and the IRS and how they worked around the clock. The PPP, although it had some issues getting started, one of the reasons we did it that way is we knew it was very effective getting money out quickly. Again, that was very important to us, so we got over $500 billion out into the economy. We have direct payments that we did to the airlines. So we've pumped out a lot of money. There's a bunch of money that was appropriated money that will go through the various agencies that will take a little bit longer. And some of the money, as you know, I have approximately $500 billion to use with the Federal Reserve. We've announced a lot of these facilities. In many cases, merely the announcement unlocked the market. So I use Boeing as the great success story. We thought we were going to have to make direct loans to Boeing. Boeing was able to access $25 billion from the market without spending a penny of taxpayer money.
Well, let me talk about PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program. This week, Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin and several others, Senate Democrats, sent you a letter. They are worried, quote, about the complexity and high cost burden of the forgiveness application process for the PPP program. Do you agree? And is there a fix in the works?
Well, Charles, let me just say we want a very simple process. And the reason why the first application was so complicated was because there were provisions in the law that were complicated and we had to follow. Now, the good news is with the PPP fix, the law that was passed, we're actually coming out this morning with Form EZ, which is an EZ form. I think we put on there it should take 20 minutes to fill out. And by the way, I think it's 10 minutes to collect your documents and 10 minutes to fill out the form. So the way you have to do this, and I think that's down from like 2 hours. So we expect the majority of businesses will be able to do this in a very easy fashion.
So that the easy form is for the forgiveness part of it?
It is. It is.
Wow.
And the majority of the people who elect the safe harbor will be able to use the EZ form. So actually, I think that press release I just approved, and it's going out this morning.
Well, good timing on my part to ask that question.
Exactly. That was like the volleyball shot, where I got the layup.
Yeah. One final question for you. President Trump is reportedly looking at a $1 trillion infrastructure plan. As you know, the Democrats are proposing $500 million in their HEROES Act. Do you see this as the better path to spur or stimulate the economy?
Charles, as you know, the president's been very interested in infrastructure since the campaign. That was one of the fundamental parts of the economic plan. We got taxes done. We got regulatory relief done. The president still would like to do infrastructure. Now, we'll continue to look at that, whether that's part of the CARES bill or we do that separately. Many times these infrastructure projects take much longer to get the money into the economy. So our number one focus right now is getting the money into the economy, both continued in July, and then if we do additional funds in August and September. So that's our first priority at the moment.
Secretary Mnuchin, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Hope to see you in Wisconsin the next time you visit.
Look forward to coming to a football game one of these days.
All right. Lambeau and Camp Randall, both great places.
Exactly. Thank you.